Okay, so welcome to the team call. It is February 5th, our first call in February. I'm really excited because, first of all, the two women that we have on tonight are amazing ladies. I hear there's a big secret being revealed. So I'm anxious to hear what that is. And like I told Christina, well, I actually posted, hope I don't cry. And Christina said I am. So I just forewarn you, I might cry. But on top of that, January was an amazing month for our team. We had probably record-breaking Success Club earners, top producers. It was just an amazing month. So congratulations to all of you. Even if you had one Success Club point, congratulations, because that means that you started January off right by helping someone else change their life. So congratulations for that. Before we get started tonight, I kind of want to do something different. I just subscribed to John C. Maxwell's daily devotional. So if you have not even heard of John C. Maxwell, I would definitely look him up. He is a wonderful man. But he has a daily devotional. It's called iequipped.org. It's IEQUIP.org. And today's devotional, pretty ironic. It's called The Team Holds the Dream. So I'm going to read it to you, and please excuse my slur with my trays, my Invisalign, because I keep slurring as if I have a speech impediment. So anyways, good-tempered leaders invigorate lives. They're like spring rain and sunshine. That's Proverbs 16:15. One of the mistakes people make is that they focus too much attention on their dream and too little on their team. But the truth is that if you build the right team, the dream will almost take care of itself. If you want to achieve your dream, really do it, not just imagine what it would be like, then grow your team. But as you do so, make sure your motives are right. Some people gather a team just to benefit themselves. Others do it because they enjoy the team experience and want to create a sense of community. Still others do it because they want to build an organization. The funny thing about those reasons is that if you are motivated by all of them, then your desire to build a team probably comes from wanting to add value to everyone on the team. But if your desire to build the team comes as a result of only one of those reasons, you probably need to examine your motives. So I think that's something that really hits home for a lot of us on this team. You know, we either are in it for our own motives or we are in it for just to be on a team. And I think we just need to look at why we're in this business. And I'm going to be talking tonight. My 3 takeaways are basically going to be about recruiting and what your goals are and having goals set for yourself to build those dreams. But how are you going to build those dreams if you don't have that team behind you? So to get started, I'm actually going to start with Christina. So Christina, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right. I'm never nervous. I'm kind of nervous. But anyway, all right. So thank you guys for getting on for us. We're really excited, Brittany and I both, to talk to you tonight. And I'm glad that she's going second so that she can tell the secret. So don't expect it from me. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Christina. I grew up in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. I know a lot of us are from that area. So I grew up in Bethel Park. I joined as a discount coach in June of 2013 when I saw my coach at the time, Chelsea's insanity results. And I knew she had an 18-month-old and she had a 6-pack. So I was like, what? Like, I need to do that. But I'm going to backtrack. So that's where Beachbody started, but I want to go back. So in a nutshell, because I could go on for a long time, I had a really fantastic childhood. My mom owned a business with her family, and my dad had a great job, and we really didn't hurt for much ever. Then whenever I was about, I was a tween, somewhere in that 10 to 13 range. Something happened with my mom's family business. And because he's told his story, I feel comfortable to tell you that, like, my uncle had suffered from a drug addiction and actually bankrupted the business, as well as stole money from my mom and my two aunts. So all of a sudden, my parents were worried about money for the first time in my life, whenever I was really in a place in my life where I was very impressionable. And that really weighed on me a lot for a long time. So fast forward, things, between my parents is their story to tell, but things were not great for a long time. And they stayed together, which is wonderful because they set an example for me and my relationship with my husband that really nothing is too hard to get through if you work on it together. So Bill and I went to high school together. We also went to high school with Brittany. And we met in high school and we were like friends. We always teased that we were the same people in different groups. Like, we were friends with everybody and just kind of like floated around. We were the kind of people that people hate, because I'd go to the principal's office and tell him I forgot to shower that morning and he'd send me home real quick. I was total teacher's pet. But anyway, so we started dating when we were 19, and again, we faced a lot of struggles. Bill had some things that he had to work through and personal demons, and I stayed with him through that, much to the dismay of a lot of my girlfriends who I had temporarily lost whenever I was sticking with him through this horribleness that we had gone through. Then he got it together. We won. And he bought a house at 21, and I moved in with him, and life was really great. And we had decided when we were young that, he's in sales, and we thought we were going to chase money until we had kids. We were going to take in sales. A lot of times with a big company, you kind of have to move to make the big bucks. You have to be willing to move, or it takes a long, slow climb. So we got married when we were 23. And because we were chasing money and we were in a hurry to grab a promotion that happened to be in Omaha, Nebraska, we canceled our big ballroom wedding that was supposed to be in September of 2012 and got married in his mom's backyard in 2011. Then we moved to Nebraska 2 days after we got married. We got married on a Thursday night in his mom's backyard. Our honeymoon was the U-Haul drive. I was behind him in the car and driving my Corolla, crying like this. So he says he saw in the rearview mirror, just sobbing. And things were great. I went back to school. I got a bachelor's in nursing. And in the meantime, I had gotten a bachelor's at Pitt before in biology. And he was doing really well. And we decided to move to Milwaukee because the same opportunity came up. And it was a 9-hour drive home instead of a 16. And all that time, I really wasn't happy with how I felt about my body. So whenever I saw Chelsea's post, I was like, I need to do what you're doing. So I signed up as a discount coach. And within 2 weeks, I had these amazing changes. And I thought that time of the month, whenever that mean aunt lady comes around, that mean Aunt Flo, I was feeling so good. And that was like the proof in the pudding to me that I was like, this is awesome. This is working. So I didn't have cramps. I was in a good mood. So Bill's like, yeah, something's up. But, so I thought, okay, I'll work business. And I decided right away to go all in. A month or two later, my upline coach actually quit. So I was inherited by Cody. At that time, she was still learning a lot about the business. So we did a lot of things together and learning at the same time. And I grew my business quickly to diamond. So I signed up as a discount coach on June 28th, and my diamond certificate originally says October 31st. So within 4 months, I had made that decision to do it, and I did it. I built a house of cards at that time. I built fast and kind of haphazardly, and things were going well, and I was still building. And then in January, the best thing ever happened of last year. We got pregnant. And so it was amazing. And I was like on top of the world. I was working nights as a nurse, and I was like, this is going to be it. Beachbody is my answer. I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to be a slave to other people's family while mine is at home and my husband's sleeping at home in our bed alone. And then March hit and I slept through the month. Like literally, I was so tired. So my business kind of like really regressed. And then in May, we made the decision to sell our house in Wisconsin that we had just bought the previous May and move home. So needless to say, things were a little crazy, and I made the decision to kind of step back and still be consistent in my posting, but I really wasn't making an effort to grow. And honestly, if you look, I graphed my income because I'm a nerd like that, and you can actually see where it peaked and where it fell. And it just kind of plateaued there because I was still being consistent. I was still hitting Success Club, but I really wasn't building. And I was just focused on our family. This October, Liam was born on October 19th. And all throughout my pregnancy, I was really great about sharing my journey. And that really helped in the end. So I've made the decision again to go all in. And so my why has completely changed. Like I told you guys, our goals with moving around the country were to earn a living so that we could provide for our family. And the more I psychoanalyze myself and look at my brain, I think it's because of that instability I had for a few years in my life where my parents' relationship hurt over money because of something that neither one of them could control, that I never want that to happen to us. Never, never, never. Because, people first, then money, then things, my girl Susie Orman always says. And that's really, really important to me, that our relationship is one of the best. We have one of the best marriages out of anybody I know because we're very communicative and open. And I never want money to ruin that. So my why now is so much different because Bill works his ass off every day. And every day he comes home and he gets to see Liam from when he gets home at 5:30 till when he goes to bed at 7:30. And that's it. And that's not fair because he's missing so much and he wants to be there. And he's just the best dad in the whole world. Like the nurses in the recovery room just smiled and they just loved him because I'm laying there drugged up after my emergency C-section and Liam had his first poop and Bill's like, oh, where's the diapers? The nurse wasn't even in the room, changed his first diaper in his life without blinking an eye. Like he's just there. He wants to be a part of our lives every day. And I don't want him, I know the weight he feels on his shoulder. We have debt. I just told Natalie today, every time we build a savings, we moved and there it went. Boop, 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 boop. So we are finally home and in a good place. And so my why now is to change his life so that he doesn't have to sacrifice so much. And this business and the beauty of it is that if I build the right way and I build steady and stable, I won't have to work 80 hours a week just to maintain that. Eventually this is the kind of business where you can build a business and it will produce for you. So my why is now to build a life for Liam and Bill of freedom and to take that stress and that burden off of him that he carries around every day. So this year, my goals are, I want to help mostly my focus is on my coaches and helping whatever their goals are. I know some of Brittany's goals and I'm going to let her tell them to you, but I really want her to achieve them. I want to achieve elite in my business this year, and I want to help at least one coach quit their job. We want to get out of credit card debt. So we have about $9,000 left to go. So that will be a huge thing for us. We want to build our 6-month emergency fund, and I would love to match my nursing income of the income that I left behind. And I didn't match when I left behind. And I'm not shy to admit that. But it would be really great if this year I could rebuild to that so that the expansion could really go. But those goals seem really small in comparison to what I would love to be able to do within the next 5 years. Within 5 years, I'd like to help at least 5 coaches quit their full-time jobs. I want to pay off our student loans and build Liam an account. But primarily, I want to retire Bill and be able to give to people in a non-traditional way. We're not very traditional in terms of the way we give. And so I really want to do some unconventional things. One of Bill's big dreams is we are a musical family. Well, I'm not, but I like music. But if you ever heard me sing, you would know I don't have it in my bones, but he does. So you should see Liam smile at him when they play guitar together every Saturday morning. It's priceless. But he wants to build a charity for inner city kids to have access to instruments. And I would love to build some type of charity for families of addicts, because that's touched my lives in more ways than one and in more ways than I've talked about on this call. And I really want to do other fun things. Like, I would love to gift someone a vacation that I know they couldn't afford, or to be the person that can go to Walmart and pay off all of the layaway stuff at Christmas for 20 families. And different things. We need to find a church, and we loved our church in Wisconsin. And the way that we loved how we could give to them, because they listed out 5 different things that you could potentially give to, whether it was a specific mission trip or this or that. So that's the kind of thing that we really like to do, is find one purpose as one specific thing. So I would love to be able, at least in 5 years, to be able to give someone a vacation. That's like my really big thing right now. I think that would be amazing. And eventually build our dream home, because I don't want to share a bathroom with my kids. But but that one's a selfish goal, but it is a real goal. And so I'm just really thankful that this has fallen into my lap, because, like I said, I never thought it would become anything. And now I'm getting blessed with the opportunity to help other people do what they want to do with their lives. I think that's it.
Awesome. So I don't even have to ask you what your 3 to 5 year goals are, because you touched on them. And I love how you said that you want to do it untraditional, like start a charity and give vacations and whatever it may be. That's super fun and super awesome, because I know you're going to hit those goals and do that. And the one thing that I really got from, well, I always get so much stuff from when Christina talks, but one of the things is, she said that, when she stopped focusing on her business, things kind of fell apart. And I talked about this on a call yesterday morning, about how from June until December of last year, I was kind of in a funk. And granted, my income didn't change, but my business changed. The momentum of my business changed. The momentum of my coaches changed, and things kind of fell apart. So when you start building a team and you focus on everyone, then it's going to stay the same. That momentum's going to stay there. But the second that you walk away or you step away from whatever it may be, your coaches are going to do the same thing. So keep that in mind. They say the speed of the leader, the speed of the pack. So next up, Miss Brittany, do you want to jump on? Thank you, Christina.
Hello. So if everybody doesn't know, my name is Brittany. I'm also from Bethel Park. I grew up here. I actually went to high school with Christina and probably a bunch of other girls that are on here. At 17, I thought I met the man of my dreams. We dated for about 6 years, and we got married. I was 23. I was divorced by 24. He was mentally and not physically, but mentally abusive. He told me constantly, if you gain weight, I'm going to divorce you, or I'm going to leave you. Always said, we're never having kids, da-da-da-da-da. So I said, you know what? I don't need that in my life. And I left him. At the same time, I actually met my current husband, and he was going through a divorce too. His ex was stealing money off of him. And we decided that we didn't want to live that life where we had no communication. We wanted to communicate with each other. We've built a relationship off of communication because that's what neither of us had in our previous relationships. Well, a year and a half of trying to have Mia, we got pregnant, but it was a year and a half. So we both thought at that point, it's not going to happen. So we both were giving up almost. Well, in 2013, in August, we found out that I was pregnant. We had this big beach wedding planned in 2014, decided, you know what, let's get married, screw it, tell nobody. We decided to get married, told nobody I was pregnant. We came back, told the whole family. It was a big shock because nobody was expecting it. We never let any secrets. Well, throughout the pregnancy, I was one of those women that said, oh, I'm not going to gain, this much weight. I'm going to gain, what they say, the 25 pounds. Well, no, that was about 25 over. So I was about 50 pounds. I weighed over 200 pounds when I gave birth to Mia. She was 10 days late, and I, just like Christina, I ended up having an emergency C-section. I was knocked out. I went through every type of medication for the epidurals. Didn't work. Didn't work for the spinal tap. Well, that led me to a longer recovery because I couldn't move for the first 6 weeks of my pregnancy. They told me that I was not allowed to exercise, I wasn't allowed to walk until I got cleared at that 6-week mark. Well, in May, Christina had posted something about sales going on, and I said, you know what? I want to buy something now so that when I can start working out, I will. I declined and declined. She asked me about Shakeology constantly. I said, no, I can't afford it right now. I'm on maternity leave. I have no income. She said, she never pushed me. She said, when you're ready, go ahead. I'm right here for you. I said, all right. Well, we kept contact. I did about 3 weeks of the workout and quit. I said, I started back to work, trying to be a mom. I couldn't do it. It was just too much for me. Finally, in September, I said to Christina, I'm ready. I'm ready to be a coach. And she said, all right, awesome. Took me through the whole process. Now, I've been a personal trainer since about 2007. I've been in the fitness industry. And when growing up in the industry, when you talk about Beachbody and all this, people don't like it. They don't. And it was very hard for me to get into this because of that, because I was in that mindset that this doesn't work. You don't need this in your life because it doesn't work. When truly it does. I've seen the results. I've been a part of the results, and it does. And I stepped in all in October, and it was awesome. I got everything. I made commission. I was excited. Well, November and December hit, and I just slacked off. And it showed. January hit, I told Christina, I'm ready again. I hit Success Up 5. I was getting ready to start the 21-day fix. And I said to Matt, I don't feel good. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I just don't feel good. Something's not right. So about 9 months, I found out I'm pregnant again. I'm about 8 weeks pregnant. But I can't have anybody say anything because we haven't told the family yet. So it's not Facebook official. So after a year and a half of trying for Mia, and about 9 months, we're pregnant again. My dreams, my goals originally were to just build my income up through this so that I could pay stuff off, so that we could afford a house and that I wouldn't have to depend on Matt for income. But now that we have a family, my goals have really changed. And now that we have the other one coming, I decided that, I need to take my income and double it so that I can actually quit my job and stay at home. So my goal by the end of this year is to match my income from my job that I'm at now. I work part-time, so I have some free time normally. My 3 to 5 years goals, and he always told me that he'd never retire, never. And after Super Saturday, and I told him about Ashley's story, he looked at me and said, why don't you do that? I said, what do you mean? He said, I'll quit my job. I was like, excuse me? No, he works 2 jobs, let me remind you. Just like how Christina said, Bill has a very, very limited time with Liam, so does Matt. Matt works from 8 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. He doesn't see Mia until Friday evening. He sees Mia Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And sometimes Tuesday and Thursdays. But I want him to be home because now we're going to have 2 children. I want him to see them. They need to know their father. He is the amazing father. And my goal in 3 to 5 years is to have him home, at least from one job. I don't think I can get him to quit both. So, but other than that, that's my story and, my goals.
Awesome. So what have you kind of set out your goals? So like by June or a diamond date or things like that. Do you have any of those, the shorter, more reachable goals right now set?
Probably diamond by like July, like mid-July. Just before I go on vacation, and then before Summit. I'm actually not going to be at Summit because I'm going to be on vacation at the same time.
And you're currently Emerald, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Definitely doable. And congratulations on the baby. And it's amazing to see what this business can do for you. And not even just the business, the people that you meet and the positivity that is around you, going to events and seeing and hearing other people's, their stories and being able to go home and say, they were able to do it. Now look, we can do it. It's possible, spending time with your family. For me, that was one of my biggest whys when I started. I wanted Chris to be able to be home with our kids. He's a police officer working, 12, 16 hours plus court, plus overtime and getting forced and things like that. And he will never quit his job because he just loves what he does. But he was able to take a different position and he was able to, cut back on his hours. So he works a real 9 to 5 or 10 to 7 job, every day. So he gets to come home and help with bath time and help with bedtime. And it's just a wonderful feeling. So congratulations. And I cannot wait to watch you grow. Literally.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So with all of that being said, my tips tonight, I'm only going to really do 2 tips, but they're pretty in detailed. Number 1 is I want you all to take out a piece of paper and write out your goals. I don't want to hear, I want to lose 10 pounds. We are going to talk business now. We are going to be in the building of a team business right now. So I want you to kind of, I guess, throw out anything I've ever said about we're strictly helping people, because I want you to get down to the real reason why you are in this business. I say it all the time. When I first started, I lead with my heart. I always have. And it's always about helping others. But when it came down to it, I needed the money to prove to my husband that this business was legit and this is where I was supposed to be. I had to hit goals of rank so that I could make that possible. So I want you right now to write out what your financial goal is with this business in the next 3 months. So by May, you can even do June, so it's like mid-year, and then December of this year. So you should have 2 financial goals. It can be what you want to be making weekly or what you want to be making monthly. But June and December, what are your financial goals? Underneath that, put if you are trying to match a salary, if you're trying to come home, or just trying to have extra cushion in your life. Because a lot of you don't want to quit your job, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, my husband will never quit his job. He loves what he does. He loves having something to do. And I don't expect everyone to want to quit their job. But there are some of you that want to be able to have that cushion, that want to be able to, live off of Beachbody strictly. So write that down. Underneath that, write out what your goal is rank-wise and what you think you need to be making that kind of money. So for instance, when I thought of diamond, I thought, okay, so I'm going to hit diamond and I'm going to make $1,000. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. And I'm going to be real with you. You don't start making a ton of money when you hit diamond. It's the team that you build underneath you that makes you the money. So when you hit diamond, yes, that's a leadership quality. That means that you brought people on. That means that you duplicated what you were doing. And that means that you showed that this business is legit. Okay? So once if you're in the Rank in the Bank group, you heard Tara Carr say that once you hit Emerald, it's like you're opening your business. You're finally able to make money. At Emerald, you start bonus cycling. So if your goal is to hit Emerald, let's be real, that can happen in 72 hours. You have a friend, you have a brother, a sister, a mother, a spouse, you have a neighbor. These are the people that should be involved in this business with you. They should be the ones that are either your best friend, would do anything to support you, or they're doing it right along with you. So think about how many people you have in your life that would do anything for you, or you would do anything for them. And simply send them a message and just say, hey, I'm doing this Beachbody thing and I really want it to work. And I think it would be perfect for you. I've supported you with X, Y, and Z. I've done this, that, and that, the other. You do everything with me. Why don't you try this with me for 30 days? If you don't like it, okay. But just support me for 30 days. Sometimes it's not simple. And sometimes your friends and family are going to be the hardest people to get on board with this business. My in-laws still, they don't understand it. Yes, they became coaches, but they kind of drink the shake and then they kind of don't. And so they're going to be the hardest people to get. But if you ask them to support you, what's the worst they can say? No. Instead of assuming that they're going to say no, ask them. They might say yes. They might be waiting for you to ask them. So get outside of your comfort zone and do that. So once you hit Emerald, you start making the money. Okay, let me retract that. You don't start making the money. You start making bonus cycles. That's $14 per bonus cycle. Ruby is $16 per cycle. Diamond is $18 per cycle. If you've gone through the training academy, you know all of this. So when you are thinking about, okay, so Diamond is, 8 personally sponsored coaches, 2 of them being Emerald. That's 12 people. How am I going to get 12 people to join me? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to start posting every day about something the business does for you. Whether it's what Beachbody has done for you, if you've been in this business for longer than 3 months, what has Beachbody done for you? Post about it. Tell people about it. Write it out in your notes or in a Word document of all the things that Beachbody has done for you, and take a snippet of it every single day and post about it. You don't have to share everything. It's called breadcrumbing. Share a little bit every day. And if you've read Jab, Jab, Right Hook, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You want to throw those jabs at people about what Beachbody is doing for you. So Monday through Friday, you're going to post about those things. On Saturday, you're going to post a success story. On Sunday, you're going to post about your upcoming coach camp or your upcoming sneak peek or the upcoming business opportunity call. Whatever it may be, you start posting about those things. Saturday and Sunday seem to be the most traction on social media when it comes to those things. Usually Sunday evening, that's when people are getting ready to start the week again, and they're just on Facebook playing around at the end of the night. Number 2, you want to share your results. I say this every week, I feel, or every time I'm on a call. No matter what your results are, share them. If you're using the products, people want to see that. If you are using the products or you have a challenger using the products, start getting their transformations. Ask them for them. Yeah, some people are afraid to share their transformations. Some people don't want their face shown. Cover them up, but ask their permission to share them. Share yours. In the team page, under the files, or under the pictures, there's albums of different transformations. They're there so you can share them. Share them. This business is all about the real connection with the results. People need to see that you're being a product of the product. People need to see that the products really work. I would say 80% of my clientele comes from me sharing results, whether they're my results or someone else's results. They need to see that these products really work. They need to see real people getting results from these products. So share them. Next is, I put on my notes, invite like a champ. And it sounds funny, but when I first started, and this is not a lie, I literally went through, I actually have my notebook and I can show you. I don't know where it is. I literally went through my Facebook. Sorry guys, I'm getting my notebook to show you. And excuse my dirty house behind me here. Okay, so I literally went through my friends list on Facebook and wrote every person's name down. I still have my notebooks of every person that was on my friends list. I mean, that's just one of them. There's more. I mean, literally wrote down their name. And every time I would message them, I'd cross their name out. And that's how I tracked it when I first started back in 2011, because we didn't have any system, per se, for contact lists. We didn't have any training. I literally went through every single person and said, well, it was a full-on page of what I said to them. But basically, it was, hey, I joined as a Beachbody coach, and I got wonderful results with P90X. I'm looking to start my first challenge group. Are you interested? That's kind of the shortest version of what I said, because if I really went back and got it, and some of you probably even got that message from me if you're one of my challengers, but I had like my link in there and everything. You don't want to do that. Don't do that, because that's very salesy. But you just want to tell them, hey, I joined as a Beachbody coach. I've had wonderful results from whatever program you're doing. I'm getting ready to start my next support group. Are you interested in hearing more? And message those people. That, to me, that's a cold invite. And if you're in the mastering of the invites, you're going to learn different types of inviting and different ways to get people involved. But that is what worked for me. And I'm going to be the one doing the cold inviting training, because to me, we are in this business to help somebody, to change lives. What we do is run challenge groups. We run support groups. That's what we do. Yes, building relationships is the big picture, but I like to reverse that. And that's just how I do it. That's how I've run my business since day one, because that's all I knew. So that's what I feel comfortable with. So the majority of my invites are cold invites. I send that message to them. If they come back and say, no, I'm not interested at this time, I start asking questions. So what are you up to these days? Or, do you work out? Ask little questions. Even if you see something on their Facebook or their profile picture, you see it there, start asking them questions and do that reverse forming. Because then you're going to start building that relationship, and maybe 2 weeks down the road, maybe 2 months down the road, maybe a year from now, they're going to come back to you and say, hey, now I'm ready for that Beachbody thing. Because they see what you're doing. They see your investment in them, because you still built that relationship. You didn't just walk away when they said no. You started finding out about them. You started asking them questions about their life. You started to get to know who they are, why they're saying no to you. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things is you need to know about the person. Even if you do the forming the opposite direction, you know, and just start to get to know the person, then inviting them, you're getting to know them. So they see that you're really invested in them and you don't want just that quick sale. Because if you do that cold invite and then walk away from them, yeah, that's telling them, hey, I just wanted your sale because you said no, goodbye. Instead, stay invested with them. Start building that relationship. Start talking to them. Because guess what? They're going to come back to your page. They're going to see what you're doing. If you're running a free group, maybe they'll get into that free group. Or maybe they'll just start getting the value that you're sharing on your page. And eventually they will probably come back to you. So when I say invite like a champ, I truly mean go through every person you know, whether it's your phone contact list, your email contact list, your Facebook friend list. And then once you run out of people, grab that memory jogger and start writing contacts down. Because I bet you didn't message your doctor yet. I bet you didn't email your accountant yet. I bet you didn't ask previous teachers that you had in college. I mean, that's 3 people that I can almost guarantee everyone on this call did not message. And those are people that probably could use this. I mean, doctors and chiropractors, they're going to be skeptics because a lot of them have their own products that they're using. But to be honest, our pediatrician is very unhealthy. Well, not ours personally, but one of the pediatricians in the practice is very unhealthy. Ours are very holistic. So, not very holistic, that's a lie, but they're very healthy, and they'd rather give me a better remedy than just antibiotics, which I like. So, but anyways, so there are so many people that need what we have to offer. So start inviting. And I'm going to tell you, I'm the biggest person that is afraid to be in front of you right now. But when that screen's gone, I will talk your ear off. I kind of talk your ear off now because I know most of you. But go back to 2011, I wouldn't get on a call like this. I would say nope. So I bet half of you on this call are probably the same way because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you from sending that message. Guess what? If you could change one person's life, feeling like you're going to mess up is okay when it comes down to changing that one person's life. Plus, it's over the computer. Who's going to see your reaction? No one but yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Remember, these products change lives. You are in a business to change somebody's life, whether it is just physically or whether it is just emotionally and mentally being around these positive people and uplifting people. That is all worth it. Last thing, challengers make the best coaches. Do you have a challenge group running? If you said yes, awesome. Stay in contact with those coaches or those challengers that are posting nonstop. Encourage them. Let them know how inspiring they are because they are going to be the best coaches. And a simple message of saying, hey, you are doing so amazing with posting. I love your attitude. You're so uplifting. You're doing exactly what I would be doing. Thanks for helping me out. And when they come back and say, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. Then say, did you ever consider coaching? You're doing exactly what I would be doing as a coach. Why not help more people? Simple things like that, showing them you're doing what I'm doing. When you have challengers that are posting nonstop and doing exactly what you would be doing with that accountability, they are going to be your number one coaches because they're using the products are working for them, they're inspiring other people in your challenge group. Why not inspire more people that they know? And sometimes people that you say that to are going to be like, oh no, I don't want to be a coach. Then you say, well, do you know anyone that would like to join you in this? You're inspiring everyone in our group. Why not inspire more of your friends and get them involved? That's a referral. So, any questions? I kind of went through that super fast, and we still have about 13 minutes. I should have thought of a third thing to talk to you guys about, but how about that 21-day fix extreme? So any questions for me? Anything? Any questions for Christina or Brittany? No? Yes? And, I don't like doing calls about just recruiting because I feel like sometimes people think, oh, well, that's all I have to do, or that's all I should be doing in this business, and it's not. When you truly invest in people, then they're going to come to you no matter what. But when you have goals for yourself and you have that dream at the end of the tunnel, you need to know how you're going to reach that. And I'm going to be honest with you, just selling isn't going to do that for you in this business. Making 25% commission is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But that $30 is, at the end of the day, that $30 over even over a year, it's not going to build you the income that most of us want and most of us need. It's building a strong team and having them build strong team and building that volume and building those relationships and having a team of leaders is truly what it's all about. My team bonus cycles from, I would say, probably about 18 months in, started just in 1 week, overcame what my up-to-date, commission was, because it's all about what your team's doing, not just what you're doing. I saw a question here. Your water. Oh, okay. So Carrie, so what you had us write down our goals. Did you want us to do something specific? No, you need to know them. Okay. So with your goals, thanks for pointing that out. So with your goals, I want you to go back and say, okay, if I want to be making $500 by June and each week, what do I need to get to that? And we can break it down volume to specifically how many coaches you have, but I went right into the ranking, huh? So basically, I want you to think about the long term. So if you want $500 a week in June, if it was just challenge packs, you would need to sell 10 challenge packs in 1 week. In the month before, you would have to sell 10 to get that $50 commission. Come on. It's doable. Don't get me wrong. But that is crazy to me. Now, as an Emerald, you can max out your bonus cycle at $250 a week. And what does that mean? I'm going to get my calculator out and I'm going to do the math for you. So $250 and $14 as an Emerald. That's 17, well, I'll say 18 bonus cycles, 17 and a half bonus cycles. And at that, you would need 5,300 PV or team volume. Okay. So that is here, let's do it this way. I'm going to do 18. Hold on 1 second. Times 200. So you would need to have on your weak leg, 3,600 in volume on your weak leg. Now, if you don't have a strong leg, then in total, you need 5,300 in volume if you're creating your weak leg and strong leg. So think about it. That is having what?
Would that be 50 or 3,600 on your weak leg or your strong leg?
I lied. I multiplied it by 18. There'd be 2,800 on your weak leg to bonus the bonus to max out at Emerald. Because then you would have to match your strong leg. Now, as a diamond, it would be 3,600 to max that out. But that's halfway to your goal of making that $500 in June. And like I said, okay, so 2,800, that's where I was going. 2,800 volume on one leg. If you look at it, you could have 280 coaches. Does that make, no, 28 coaches. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. I put my calculator down. Okay. So you have people that are going to listen to this recording are going to be like, what is she talking about? Okay. So that could be 31 coaches with Shakeology on that side, or 31 orders of Shakeology. So if you are an Emerald coach, you have one other coach on that side, on that weak leg. If you go to Diamond, you have at least 4 there. And if you think of 4 coaches on your leg there, I would say each one of them have at least 5 people that could be on Shakeology, or 7. Each person have 7 people on Shakeology. So think about, reversing your goals. It's hard. It's overwhelming for a lot of people that don't know numbers. But if you really think about the big picture over time, that one person every single month, even if you're just committing to sign on one coach a month, that one person every single month, that's 12 coaches by the end of this year. I love numbers too. That's 12 coaches over the course of the year. That's Diamond. Technically, that's Diamond. And think of, if you have your coaches learn that same mentality, sign one coach on a month. So if you start that now, that's 11 coaches for you. You have that other person sign on, that's 10 coaches for them. So right there, that's 21 coaches in your organization. Right there. And if you keep going, just think about it. 30 after 3 months of you and your 3 coaches. If you have that same mentality, that's 30 coaches by the end of this year in your organization. There's your 30 bags of Shakeology. In 3 months. Well, actually, it'll be 11 months, but 3 months you have your 3 coaches and you teach them that same mentality. 1 coach a month. Or Emerald in 72 hours. I know it's harder for some people to understand what Emerald really means, but for me, it was giving my family that discount. Letting them try it with that discount. Letting them support me for 30 days. So think about what your goals are. Think about what you want to reach. How you're going to reach it. And if you are just completely lost by this call, message me. We'll get on a one-on-one and we will reverse everything. We'll talk it out. We'll see what you personally need in your business to reach your goals. I know I did that with a few other girls, and I'm glad to do it with anyone else. Because when it comes down to it in this business, I want you guys to reach your goals. Yes, my goals are my goals, and I will reach them eventually. I set out my goals, but I'd rather see you guys succeed in this business and know what you're doing and know that you're on the right track to this business than anything else. So you guys are number one priority. If you have any questions ever, do not hesitate to ask me. I might not seem approachable to some people, but I am. You can message me. Don't be afraid. There was a question.
Hey, Nick, I have one.
Yes, what's up?
But it's one of those, like, I'm thinking of it now, so I don't want to forget to ask you, but this is going to take the conversation in a way more confusing manner. I'm sorry in advance, but we're there, so I have to ask. So I watched the, I think it was Rank in the Bank, whatever it is, Scotty Hobbs Advanced Placement.
Okay.
Because I have a substantial amount of coaches on my right and my left legs. At what point do I set the preferred placement to be Jeff's weak leg? Like, I have 7, 8 coaches on my right, 7 I think that are active, and then like 12 that kind of come in and out of active on my left. His leg is my weaker leg. I'm on Natalie's under Ben, and I think I only have like 3 coaches from her. So I'm building like without a lot of whatever I do is what I see. So at what point do I set the preferred placement to be my coach, but under his
Okay,
legs?
so so he's on your weak leg, so you're still building his side, technically.
I am, but at what what point do
So
I? Do you know what I mean?
now,
like I have way less coaches on
you want
my
to do
right.
it now. It doesn't matter as long as they're still on your weak leg. It doesn't matter where they're placed. So if he's on your weak leg and that's where you're placing people, you can still place them under him, and you'll still have your active personally sponsored coaches, and you'll still get the volume for you. Plus, you'll get it for him. So I would place it now.
Place them now.
Yes.
Like how many would you have on your right leg and your left leg before you started placing? Do you know?
Well, if your strong leg is solid you have 12 coaches that go in and out, as long as you have your 5.
You would say a strong leg would have 5.
5 solid.
Yeah.
And then you build your weak leg to the volume that you want, and then you go back and forth.
Okay.
As long as you have 5 active as a diamond coach, you're fine. Once you start getting to star diamond and things like that, you have to really balance them out and make sure that you have enough coaches in case someone falls out for some odd reason.
That's exactly it. I want enough of a safety net that I'm not building too fast, and then I have, like Christina said earlier, a house of cards that's going to fall apart. So at this point, I'm still building my weak leg. My strong leg is the one that only has like 6 or 7 active coaches on it, though.
Okay, so put 2 more coaches over there and then go over to your other side. I mean, you don't have to have that many coaches on your strong leg. You just have to make sure that they're solid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because when I hit diamond, I only had my 4 active coaches over there, and I had everyone else on my other leg. And then when I went 1 star, I had to make sure I put another coach over there, so I was even at the 10. But then ever since then, it's really been, I built my weak until my weak became my strong, and now I'm only building my weak again, which it was my original strong that only had 4 coaches, 5 coaches on it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Sorry
welcome.
About that.
No, that's okay. I'm going through the group chat here, and Amanda asked, what do you want us to post on weekends? So on weekends, normally what you would post is a success story, or even an invite, a promo, an ad, inviting people to your next challenge group or your coach camp, or if you're starting a coach sneak peek, or whatever you're starting, and say the following week, 2 weeks, whatever is coming up in your business, Saturday and Sunday are the days that you want to be posting that. So I typically say the day before you post the day before you post an invite to a coach camp or a challenge group, post a success story. So if you're going to post your invite of your next challenge group on Saturday, post a success story on Friday. Or, if it's going to be Sunday that you're posting hey, I'm looking for 5 new people to mentor in my business on Sunday, then Saturday you want to post some type of success, some type of story, whether it's from you in your personal success or someone else. I like to use other people's, because throughout the week I'm sharing what Beachbody has done for me. So on the weekends, I like to share what it's doing for other people. So does that help? Okay, perfect. I'm going to go through here and just make sure I didn't miss anyone's. Katie.
That's not a question. It was just.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And did you listen to Leanne Ruff's recruiting? She did the Elite series for us back in, I want to say, September. It might have even been the last week in August, but it was during the Elite Series. She was the kickoff. She talked about recruiting in this business. And a lot of people really loved the way that she talked about recruiting. So I would definitely go back and watch that, even if you did do it once. It would probably really help you.
I have to say, when she talked on that video, one of the most profound things she said was, don't put all your eggs in one basket. She was right when I was pushing for Diamond. And I had this girl, I was going to get her to Emerald. She was going to be it. She was going to be it. And it literally made me look outside the box. Now, the girl was my first Emerald, or was the first person to hit Emerald, but it made me grow my team in other ways because of that. That call was so huge for me. And that one sentence of literally just don't put them all in one basket, because you never know what's beyond that basket.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to think that way sometimes, because you get so excited and you want it more for that person than you want it for yourself. And I say that all the time, but I really see the potential in a lot of my coaches, and I always want it for them, and I want it for them, and they do nothing. And it's like, okay, so I just wasted a whole year on these two people. Now, how did that benefit me other than me being frustrated with them? So that's one of those things that Leanne really teaches, is you have to look at the big picture. You have to see who is giving you, bites back. Even if they're not recruiting or they're not doing certain things, who's giving you the bites back? You give these trainings, and we do so much on our team. I mean, one of the things my mentor, Kim Carver, said to me on Wednesday was, it's amazing to see what you do for your coaches, because there are teams out there that do none of this, none of these calls. They don't do trainings with their team. So it's like, we're doing a ton of stuff for you guys, and you might not realize it because it is just so amazing. And it is a lot, because, I mean, for me personally, I have a call Monday nights. I added a call Wednesday. Well, 2 calls Wednesdays. This call on Thursday. I have mentors getting on calls on Tuesdays for me. So, like, I have calls a lot too. And some people will say, oh, well, I just don't have time for that. Well, guess what? I wish I could say that. But look what this has built. Getting on calls and having those things, because you're investing in everybody. And it's how it starts. You can get super excited about the people you bring on, but until they show you that they're interested, you cannot give all of your energy to that person. Like, and a huge example of this is the 22 people that were on this call are the 22 people that are usually on the leaderboards every week. So think about it. Think about it. And that's all I have to say about that. Any other questions? Any other comments?
I just want to say, because I see you, Meg, Meg and I have like a really special little friendship, and she struggled last year to hit Success Club constantly and was so close time after time. And she, I think, hit 10 last year, and she's almost at Success Club again this month, and she's freaking amazing.
Yay!
So I just want to tell you.
That's awesome. Yeah, and see, those are the things that you build these relationships with people. And Christina and Meg's not even on Christina's direct downline. But we all have that special bond, because these are the people that are always showing up and are always engaged. And so you start building relationships with them. So keep an eye out for that. It's special. That is. So any other questions before we get off? And I did keep you guys over the hour, so I'm sorry.